Okay, so welcome to our second really coffee talk, and super excited. Tani and I are joined today with Miss Geena Davis. And you had quite the experience over the past couple of days.
I sure have.
Will you share with us what brought you here and how this came to be?
Absolutely, yes. I got fitted for hearing aids, and I'm very excited about it. A very close friend of mine, I happened to be talking about that I wanted to find somebody and see if I could get hearing aids. And she said, "I've got you covered." Oh. I'm making a call, and next thing I knew, I found myself here in Minnesota. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And there's a link, if I'm recalling correctly, a shared connection between the two of you. And when we were, was it the Alzheimer's Association?
Women's Alzheimer Movement. And we've done a lot of work with them on hearing, right, and the effects of hearing loss with Alzheimer's. Yeah. So it was a very rapid and fast meeting. I think we talked on Friday, yeah, and you were here on Monday.
Oh my goodness!
You were in Philly,
I know.
In Philadelphia, and
right,
stopped back by. So it's not always that somebody has that reaction. But to us, of course, that's the most important thing is to do it right when you've got the chance. So she took us up on it.
Well, and I love it. And we were talking a little bit yesterday because we've been talking about, celebrating women and, empowering women and, kind of connecting. And that was what our first talk was really about. And then we kind of talked about the overall health and well-being and the connection. And I'm just stunned at how quickly you move, but also interested in what got you so quickly to want to seek out support and help.
Well, I've known that I had some hearing loss for 20 years maybe, but not to the point where I wanted to do something about it. But I just was filming a new TV show, and I noticed while we were filming that I was having a harder time hearing if someone was speaking quietly or under their breath, speaking under their breath and things like that.
Or turning away and walking. Yeah. Their voice kind of goes off.
Yeah.
And I hadn't realized how much I rely on, I guess, reading lips.
Oh, sure.
That I have to be facing the person. And so I thought, when I'm off again, I want to do something about it. So it just happened that I had this conversation with my friend Sandy, and I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, she's like, this is the best. I said, thank you. I will do it.
That's a great attitude because so many people have so much stress and inhibition about getting their hearing fixed when everyone's wearing something in their ears now.
Right. That's
like
true.
Bluetooth devices and headsets.
Right.
So it isn't. To me, it's just communication.
Right. Right.
It's your communication device.
Exactly.
The brain is the best computer ever built, and we've got to feed it the information, is the way I look at it.
Exactly. I've learned a lot while I've been here about hearing. Yeah, it's been very fascinating.
Yeah, and I think you're fit with the new Edge AI.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And have you worn anything before, Geena?
No, I quite a few years ago, I tried something out that just I couldn't figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And, but then Sandy described that this, was going to be custom fitted and that I could spend time here. Sure. This is my second day and really tune it. Instead of, here's your hearing aids, try them out and let us know how it works.
Right.
It was such a different experience.
Right.
It was great.
Right. Well, we've been delighted. And, I found out something else too, is that you share the same birthday as my mother.
No way.
And as my granddaughter. And our nephew.
Oh my gosh.
You're January 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my mother's birthday.
Your granddaughter and your nephew and your mother?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why you like me.
You said you were Aquarius.
That's right.
The other day.
Oh my God.
And so I just Googled you. And it was
probably find out a lot.
Curious, you know, and it was January 21st, and I thought, wow, because we connected immediately. But I know you probably travel so much and meet so many great people, and you were just in Philly with Suzanne Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We were at an event together there.
Yeah. And do you do much together?
We stayed really good friends.
Yeah.
You know, we live on opposite coasts, but whenever we can
Yeah,
get together.
for the epic, you know, movie of Thelma and Louise.
Right.
And when you were filming that, you know, did you realize that you had such a historic film being made for women?
Not at all. Not at all. Which is probably a good thing. I think if you go into something thinking, this is going to be very important. Well, we had no idea it was going to strike a nerve the way that it did.
Right.
And
just the right
still
time.
does.
It still does. Yeah. I meant to show you, you know, in my office, I have a picture of my mother and myself, and she's wearing Thelma and I'm wearing Louise on our hats. Yeah, we have the trucker hats. And I bought those for her for Mother's Day one year, and I've got the picture in my office. I'll have to show you because I think, you know, people that are women that watched that movie, you know, it just kind of lights something. And, you know, my mother was always such an entrepreneur in hearing aids. You know, in 1958, and she started her owned her own business, which was unusual back then.
Right.
And I think I told you also last night over dinner that she had traded it for a laundromat, and the guy that was running the hearing aid store didn't like hearing aids, and she was running a laundromat, and she didn't like laundromats, so he trained her in hearing aids, and my mom showed him how to do the laundromat, and she's made a career out of hearing aids, and was a pioneer in her own way. So I think, you know, anything that, you know, when women, you know, find that, I don't know, that champion, you know, you can identify with in movies. You know, you've played so many in League of Their Own, you know, Dottie and all of the, that was epic.
Oh, it's just,
and you probably didn't know that was going to be epic either.
No. And I'm sorry. I still have the same number of young women tell me they play sports because of that movie as when it came out 30 years ago.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I just heard yesterday, so our chief counsel, Tom, was talking to me, and he was saying that one time he was out of town and he's got the boys, and they were watching some kind of female women's sports, and they made a sarcastic comment, young boys, in front of Mom, and Mom had them watch A League of Their Own, and that is now one of their favorite movies that they pull up time and time and time again.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It
just
is
even
timeless.
from that perspective of even like teaching our children, like, no, look at what, so just inspiring on so many levels, I think for everybody.
Right. Right.
And just so relatable.
One of my favorites, because I used to use this, and my oldest son, who happens to run the company here, you know, there's no crying in baseball. You know, I mean, we say that over and over. There's no crying in baseball. Even when there's something we don't want to do, or somebody's whining about anything, not
Whatever
even
it is.
sports.
Right.
It just was such a beautiful line for Tom Hanks too. And have you stayed friends with him?
Oh yeah.
Yep, yeah. We've met him a couple of times just through, you know, circles and everything. Yeah, he just seems like just such
and
a.
all the gals, we're all still friends and still in touch. We do things together.
Ah, nice.
Is there something, and so I would imagine you being you, of course, and when we look at the roles that you've played and the inspiration that you are and the role model that you are for so many, like, how does that connect with the inner child, the real Geena Davis, the inside? Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Something no one's ever asked me. Do you mean how does it make my inner child?
Yeah, like is there a part of the characters that you play, right, that have some commonalities to them? Is there something in you that is connected to that?
Well,
is that who you are?
I'll tell you, because
Does that make sense?
I was born and raised an incredible people pleaser, you know, that everybody else came first, and you know, and I was very shy, and then I pick a career like this. But so I started playing characters who were much further along than I was. I was lucky enough to get cast as women who were in charge of their own fate,
Yeah.
and making their own decisions and stuff. And it really changed me. It's like living vicariously through,
Sure.
I mean, being somebody like
And learning.
the first female president of the United States,
Right.
you know, I had to act like I could handle that
Yeah.
job. And it just has become part of my personality.
Yeah.
So I love being challenged because then I know it'll benefit my life as well.
Oh, I love that. I love that you know that.
Yeah.
Because even though you know that it's going to help you grow,
Right.
it can still be scary enough that you still resist it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's fabulous.
And don't you just really, all of us learn from characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and especially, you know, like I said, watching in the movies and you learn. It's not just entertainment.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's good information.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for, I know it's so hard, but you say that you still have so many that look up to you. Like, what is the advice that, let's say that you would have given your, 30-year-old self? 20-year-old self?
Right. I'd say, well, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
doing good.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. This is very personal to me, but my journey, I believe, if I boiled it down, has been to be able to react in the moment to how I actually feel. Like, it's not even just reacting, saying the right thing. You know, you always
Being genuine.
think later, oh,
Yeah.
I should have said, whatever, I should
Sure.
have defended myself, I should have this or that. But I was where I didn't even know how I felt about something unless somebody was telling me how I should feel about it. And then later I'd be like, wait a minute, that hurt my feelings or that whatever. And so my whole life's journey has been closing the gap to where I react authentically in the moment. And I can do it now pretty often, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so many of us are finding that place.
Right.
And I think, you know, we've talked a lot from a culture perspective of being hopefully the best version. We're not always,
Right.
but the best version of your authentic self.
Right.
Because then you're not second guessing anything. You're not searching for the right answer.
Right.
But it's
What someone
that
else wants you to
vulnerability.
say.
Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it sounds like you're doing something special where you're able to pause or be in that moment to know, how do I feel about this,
Right.
instead of just automatically,
Right.
what do they want to hear?
What do they want to hear? What do people hope? How will
Yeah.
people hope I react to this? And
Well, and you know, coming back to that is the genuinely being able to trust your hearing as to what someone says, or even the inflection
Exactly.
in someone's voice. Because sometimes when you're listening so hard that you tend to miss
Yeah.
something that as it goes by.
Right.
So
Right.
you know, I'll be interested to hear how it helps you in just the that authentic self on the first time.
Right.
Right.
Right. And you know, it's been educational to be someone who's became hard of hearing because there's a lot of prejudice about it. You know, that like some people might, well, my kids sometimes be like, I said,
Oh,
you know,
sure.
And you know, if somebody was walking slowly, you wouldn't say, oh, would you hurry up?
Right.
You know what I mean? But
couldn't
somehow
walk.
People can become impatient
Yeah.
if you can't hear. And the second time they say it, they'll just say it
And then it takes on a different
in a
tone.
friendly tone,
Yeah.
less friendly tone. So, so it's been interesting, yeah. And
Yeah.
now I'd be interested to see what's different now that I
Yeah, and especially in crowds and
Right.
being able
Right.
to. I'm really anxious to
Right.
see how you do in that.
Yeah. In noisy environments, I have felt a little isolated because I just
We in dinner last night. You kept up. You never missed a word.
Well, yeah, because you can turn down, I don't know what the right term to be.
The
but
crowd.
The crowd noise. You can push a button and it will dim the crowd noise so that you're just hearing the people in the room,
Right.
which is
Gives you more direction.
very interesting. Because
Yeah.
I tend to be lost in a
Yeah.
loud environment. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah, now you'll be the party girl.
But I've trained everybody. She can't go to a noisy restaurant.
Yeah.
and stuff. But
Yeah.
bring it, be noisy. Go ahead.
There you go.
Oh my God, I love it. So will you, over the next week, because you've been here before, can she expect to feel like more tired because of there's more sounds that you're going to be? I'm just curious, like, what does this next week? As
I
you
just felt like
get
Geena,
used to it again.
You just like your eyes got brighter,
Okay.
your expression got
Right.
happier.
Right.
You know, it was like it was like
So
a
then it's
moment.
the opposite. It's energy that it will give you then.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
And you know, if the volume's right,
Yes.
right, and can tweak that with the buttons and
Yes.
with your phone
Yeah.
app and everything,
App, right.
why you'll have control over that. But from what I saw
Yeah.
professionally, why you know, you responded, it was instant.
Right.
It was like, wow.
Yeah. One of the most interesting moments in my life, maybe, was I had them on for about 10, 15 minutes, and we took them off for some reason, and then Isaac, who I was working with, said something, and I said, "This is how I really hear?"
Yeah.
It was stunning,
Yeah.
the difference between, and I only had I had heard that way for
10
my
minutes.
life
Yeah.
up until 15 minutes ago, but it was so foreign to me. I'm like, that's how
It was
I've been
like,
going through.
Wow.
It's amazing.
But it is like it sucks the energy out of everything when it goes dead like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
just, and then all of a sudden, you know, everything's back.
Because I didn't know I was missing all the subtle sounds. Like, I didn't know I would be able to hear doing that, or you know, that would make. I didn't know that
They weren't
made
there for
noise
you.
anymore. I didn't realize that, you know, that this made noise.
Right.
So
Right. Or even S's and F's.
S's.
And the TH sounds that usually start a word and end a word.
Well, that was the thing, because I felt like it wasn't really a volume problem as much as it sounded underwater. It sounded like people were mumbling.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
And so, so then when I had the hearing aids on and Isaac was talking to me, I said, "But you're over enunciating. Why don't you just talk normally?" Because I thought he was talking like this. And I'm like, "But that's not going to help."
Yeah,
me.
no.
It's not going to help me if you're over enunciating. He said, "No, take them off." And like, oh. Because I wasn't hearing the consonants.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So
yeah. I
fascinating.
always say it sounds like someone's talking with a mouthful of food,
Yeah.
you know,
That makes sense.
and it sounds like it isn't enunciating,
Right.
you know,
Right.
but it just makes everything, you know, just brighter,
Yeah.
Pops.
brighter, all of the speech and everything, so.
I'm
and
getting used to hearing my own voice louder.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's
And
twice as loud that he said it.
Yeah, and you will too, you know, because it's
But
so
I'm getting used
close. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you're
What an
beautiful. We're so happy you came
Yeah.
to see
Thank
us.
you. Thank you. I'm so
gift.
happy too. Thank you.
Such a gift.
Yeah,
And you
very
stay in
grateful.
touch and make sure you let us know all of the happy, healthy hearing
I will.
moments that
I
you
will.
experience.
I will. And thank you for all the work that you do around the world. It's incredibly
It's the best job ever. We have the best job
You
ever.
do have the best job
Yeah,
ever. It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Really changed a life completely. So that's fabulous.
We call it instant gratification.
Yes, yes. Well,
People
there's-
walk out with a better life.
There's few things that can
Yep.
just be done.
You know, as I've done mission work around the world, and as you say, you see it 800 times a day, and it's you watch biology happen. So we see your expression. You can see the sound hit the brain, like with your eyes got brighter, right? It's like a light switch.
Yeah.
And the next, to me, the closest thing to it is childbirth. Biologically, you know, like you're watching biology happen when you actually see someone hear better over and over again. I mean, it's the best job ever. You can't get any better than that. Yeah. So we're glad now that you're in our tribe.
Yes.
Our Starkey
too. Thank
tribe.
you.
So you'll have to come back and join us again,
I
Geena.
shall.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
I gotta
you.
give you a hug. You're amazing. Thank you.
Hug her.